There's a type of leaf, very familiar to us Vietnamese, growing along the fence line, barely noticed by anyone. Yet it's now being mentioned by many traditional medicine experts as a savior for those who frequently suffer from bloating, indigestion, or dull pain in the upper abdomen. Many people who used to go to the hospital for chronic gastric ulcers reported that after using this leaf properly every day, their pain significantly decreased. They enjoyed food more and even slept better. It's not a Western medicine, not an expensive supplement, but rather a simple remedy that might be growing right in your backyard. I truly believe that if you're over 50, when your digestive system starts to weaken, you should definitely know about this leaf. Because if you use it correctly, consistently, and in the right amount, it can not only help reduce stomach pain, but also prevent the silent complications that many people often overlook. In today's video, I'd like to share with you the special benefits of La Mo Long, Paederia foetida, for people suffering from stomach and duodenal ulcers, how to use it properly, and what to watch out for to avoid adverse effects. I'll speak slowly and clearly so everyone can understand and apply it. If you're dealing with stomach issues or simply want to better understand how to care for your own health and your loved ones, don't skip a second of this video. Make sure to watch until the end so you don't miss the most important part. Oh, and if you find this content helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel Song Quay Moi Nghe. That's what gives me more motivation to make even better videos. And if you agree with the philosophy of living healthily through natural remedies, feel free to leave a number 1 in the comments. If you're still unsure, type 0. I'll personally respond to each question with care. Wishing you and your family good health and peaceful days ahead. Let's get started, dear friends. I still clearly remember not long ago, a man named Duong, over 50, called into my channel, his voice full of fatigue. He said his stomach used to be very strong. He could eat anything. But just in the past few years, eating even a little sour food or going too long without eating would make his stomach burn and ache. Some nights, the pain was so intense, he had to sit up holding his stomach, afraid to lie down. He had been taking Western medicine regularly, but the pain would return as soon as he stopped. Then, thanks to a tip from a friend in the countryside, he began using La Mo Long every morning, just a few fresh leaves chewed raw, or blended and drunk with warm water. After nearly a month of consistent use, he felt completely different. His stomach felt light, his appetite returned, and he no longer woke up at night in pain. When he shared his experience with me, Mr. Duong said something very simple. I never thought that the leaf we used to pull up and throw away near the garden would end up saving my stomach. Hearing that, I was even more convinced that if we learn to listen to our bodies and return to what's familiar and natural, sometimes healing doesn't have to be complicated. Talking about this humble leaf, I'm sure many of you are already familiar with it. Especially in rural areas, nearly every household has a clump of it growing along a wall, by the fence, or tucked in the corner of a small garden. The leaf is heart-shaped, dark green on top, and the underside is covered with fine velvety hairs. Just crush it lightly, and its strong, pungent smell will hit you right away. That's why people call it La Mo Long, to distinguish it from other types of mo leaves, and because it's a name that's been passed down through generations. La Mo Long isn't just a common herb eaten with pork intestines or balut eggs. In traditional medicine, it's considered a valuable medicinal herb. Let me break it down a bit so it's easier to picture. La Mo Long has a mildly bitter taste, cooling properties, and is associated with the liver and large intestine meridians. It helps clear heat, detoxify, has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effects, and is especially effective for those with digestive issues such as bloating, gas, indigestion, and dull stomach pain. It's no coincidence that many Eastern medicine practitioners recommend older adults use La Mo Long regularly and correctly. As we age, our digestive functions weaken, and the protective mucus lining in the stomach becomes thin, making us more prone to ulcers if our eating habits are irregular. With its natural antibacterial and cooling properties, This leaf can become a gentle yet powerful support if used correctly. The good news is, you don't need to go far to find it. This valuable leaf can be easily grown in a foam box, or you can simply take a few cuttings and plant them at the edge of your garden. Within just a few weeks, they'll take root and spread quickly. So how exactly does La Mo Long help in treating stomach and duodenal ulcers? What is the mechanism that makes it effective in reducing pain, inflammation, and helping repair damaged mucosa? I'll share more details in the next part so you can truly understand, use it right, and see the clearest results. When it comes to stomach and duodenal ulcers, I'm sure you're familiar with that dull, burning pain or bloating after meals. The important thing to know is, this isn't just simple indigestion. It's a sign that the stomach lining is inflamed or even ulcerated. And in the search for a natural, gentle, yet effective remedy, traditional medicine experts have pointed to La Mo Long as a very promising option. The first standout feature of La Mo Long is its natural anti-inflammatory ability. It contains sulfur dimethyl disulfide, a type of plant-based antibiotic that soothes inflamed mucosa and reduces the burning and dull pain often experienced by ulcer sufferers. Many users have reported that just a few weeks of drinking La Mo tea consistently significantly reduced their stomach pain, and they no longer feared eating. But it doesn't stop there. La Mo Long also helps regenerate the protective mucus lining of the stomach. You know how important that mucus layer is. It acts as a shield against stomach acid. When ulcers develop, this layer thins or disappears, causing even more damage. Regular use of La Mo Long can naturally and safely stimulate the restoration of this protective barrier. Another reason why many people love La Mo Long is its powerful ability to reduce bloating and gas. Thanks to its natural digestive enzymes, it supports stomach contractions, helps break down food more easily, and reduces fermentation and gas production, the main causes of burping and bloating after meals. Especially for older adults who often experience slow digestion, a warm cup of La Mo tea in the morning can be a gentle lifesaver. One more important point: La Mo Long has been shown to inhibit H. pylori bacteria, the leading cause of over 70% of stomach ulcers today. Some studies have indicated that extracts from La Mo can slow down the growth and reproduction of this bacteria in the digestive tract. Of course, it doesn't completely replace antibiotics, but it's a valuable complementary therapy, especially for those who can't tolerate Western medicine or need long-term digestive care. And finally, when your digestive system is functioning well and your stomach lining is healed, your body naturally absorbs nutrients better. I've met many people who eat full meals yet still look pale and feel tired due to poor absorption. Once their stomach improves, they find themselves eating more, with glowing skin and better sleep. So if anyone asks, isn't La Mo Long just a garnish herb? What's so special about it? Now you have the answer. It's not loud, not heavily marketed, but its effects are quiet and enduring, just like how our local herbs have healed us for generations. After understanding the amazing benefits of La Mo Long, the next question many people often ask me is, so how should it be used to be truly effective, correct, and safe? This is also the most important part of the journey toward natural healthcare, because just using it doesn't mean it'll work, and if used incorrectly, it might even backfire. The first method, and also the simplest, is chewing it raw in the morning. I know many people may hesitate due to the pungent smell and slightly bitter taste, but if you can get past that, the results are well worth it. Just pick about 5 to 7 fresh La Mo leaves, wash them thoroughly, chew them well, swallow the juice, and discard the pulp. This method is best for people with chronic gastritis, dull post-meal stomach pain, or frequent morning bloating. At this time, the stomach is still empty, so it can absorb the nutrients from the leaves most effectively. If chewing raw is too difficult, you can switch to a gentler method, drinking the juice. Take a handful of fresh La Mo, wash them clean, blend with about 100 milliliters of warm water, strain the juice, and drink it about 30 minutes before breakfast. Using it consistently every morning for 2 to 3 weeks can bring noticeable improvements: a lighter stomach, no more heaviness after meals, and significantly reduced stomach pain. Additionally, if you'd like to turn la mo into a dish, steamed eggs with la mo is a great option to try. Crack a free-range chicken egg into a bowl, beat it with finely chopped la mo and a pinch of salt, then steam until fully cooked. This dish is not only easy to eat, but is also a traditional remedy for digestive health, often used to warm the stomach, especially after irregular meals. However, I'd also like to honestly share a few important precautions. Although la mo long is mild and safe, it should not be overused. You should only consume about 10 to 15 grams of fresh leaves per day. Excessive use may cause a cold stomach or even reverse digestive effects. And one more crucial point: people with spleen and stomach deficiency, meaning those who often have a cold abdomen, diarrhea, or cold, weak bodies, should be cautious or avoid using raw la mo, as its cooling nature may worsen symptoms. As for the best time to use it, early morning is ideal, when the stomach is still empty. This is when the body absorbs the essence of the leaf best, and it's also easier to monitor any reaction. If you're cooking with la mo, it's best to eat it at lunch and avoid eating it too late, as it may cause stomach chills in sensitive individuals. So, who should use la mo long? It's for those who suffer from chronic stomach issues, post-meal bloating, mild gastritis, or anyone who wants to care for their stomach early to prevent future complications. For those with weak or cold digestive systems, it's best to listen to your body first. Try a small dose or cook it to balance its cooling nature. Taking care of your stomach with la mo long doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Just understand it properly, use it consistently, and listen to your body daily, and you'll see real benefits from something so simple and gentle. When it comes to the effectiveness of la mo long, what's most convincing isn't just theory or research. It's the real stories from everyday people who quietly and consistently applied it, and then saw clear results. Let me tell you about one specific case: Ms. Tho from Can Tho, who is now over 60 years old. She had suffered from chronic gastritis for nearly 5 years, with a persistent dull pain whenever she ate too much or went too long without food. She had been taking Western medicine for a long time, but the relief never lasted. There was a time she had to take over a week off work because of severe stomach cramps in the middle of the night. Later, after a recommendation from a friend who practices traditional medicine, she began drinking fresh la mo long juice every morning, following exactly the method I just shared earlier. I remember very clearly, when I called to check in after more than 2 months, her voice was noticeably cheerful. "It's strange, but my stomach feels really calm now. If I forget to drink it, I immediately feel bloated and uncomfortable again. Since I started drinking it regularly, my appetite's improved. My stomach feels light, and I even sleep better at night." That statement may sound simple, but for someone who struggled with stomach pain, it represents a huge change. What I appreciated most was that she didn't replace her medicine. She used la mo as a supportive therapy. Her proper understanding, correct usage, and attentiveness to her own body allowed the leaf to truly work its magic. Ms. Tho's case is just one of many people who have improved their stomach condition thanks to la mo long, a simple leaf that holds remarkable healing value. La mo long. It may sound ordinary and humble, but if used properly, it's truly a precious remedy gifted by nature. For people over 50, when the digestive system weakens and the stomach lining becomes fragile, choosing a gentle, safe solution for daily stomach care is absolutely essential. I always emphasize, la mo long is not a miracle cure, nor is it a replacement for professional treatment. But if used regularly, correctly, and combined with mindful eating, it can be a faithful companion in your digestive health journey. However, if you're experiencing severe symptoms like intense stomach pain, gastrointestinal bleeding, or prolonged vomiting, I urge you to see a specialist immediately for proper diagnosis and treatment. Using la mo with the right understanding is precious, but using it incorrectly could cause adverse effects. If you found today's video helpful, don't hesitate to share it with your family and friends. It might just help someone who's quietly suffering from stomach problems every day. And to make sure you don't miss any more valuable content, please subscribe to the Songkwe Moinge channel. If you agree with the idea of natural health, leave a number 1 in the comments. If you still have questions, feel free to type 0. I'll do my best to answer every single one. Wishing you all good health and peaceful living each day. See you in the next video.